Hi everyone, this is Dr. Vaughn, and by request I'm just making a quick little video to talk about formatting and how to use the equation editor within Microsoft Word. And this can be used throughout the course in lots of different kinds of assignments, but in particular the specific question I got was about the week 1 written assignment. So I'm in our classroom. This is what it looks like for me, and we have the week 1 written assignment. A couple things I want to point out here is that if I know some of you don't have the book yet, you can actually click on this link right over here to get a PDF copy of chapters 1 through 5, which will at least get you through week 1, and it'll have the same versions, although it's a slightly different page number, as the applications problems in the book that you need to complete for your week 1 written assignment. I also think that it's important that you click on the week 1 assignment guide right here. This will pull up a separate window in PDF form, and it has kind of a sample of how you could write up some of this kinds of thing. Please note that this particular sample that you're looking at is not formatted in the APA style. It's just an idea of how you can actually write mathematically using complete sentences, defining your variables, defining the symbols, and so forth. So really take a look at this as an example of how you can actually write up your responses to each of these problems. Remember that in the original prompt, you have to actually put in a 3 to 5 sentence of general information about the topic, something to the extent that we're talking about sequences and how to actually format these things and so forth. So those are not specific responses to each of these 3 questions. It's just general kind of information. The body will actually have the problems and the math work like we were looking at in this other page. And in the conclusion, you'll kind of summarize what you learned, the reason why you used the method, how it worked out for you, what went well, what didn't go well, and so forth. So think about the Polya's 4-step kind of process that I talked about in our guidance this week. Also remember, again, the APA 6th style, which the sample that's given here is not formatted in that APA style. So you need to make sure that in our classroom that you link to the Writing Center, which is this link down over here, and you go to the Ashford Writing Center, and in the Writing Center they have lots of different kinds of resources. I'm in a chapter 7 right now of the book that's there, but they have all of these different kinds of things about how to format things in Microsoft Word. So they even have a sample paper up here that you can look on. It's not a math paper, but it gives you specific examples of what the headers, what the title page needs to look like, what the references need to look like, how to do your inline citations, and everything else. So you can take a look at this. You can also find some templates available or online, but make sure that you do the editing on those templates if you choose to use them for the header so that it actually makes sense, that you have your title page, and that you format your content and your resources appropriately. So use the Ashford Writing Center for lots of great tips about exactly how to get through your APA writing convention. So just for the next few minutes then in the video, what I'd like to show you is how in Microsoft Word you can use a great tool called the equation editor to typeset a lot of the math like you see in this week 1 assignment guide. So some of these things with the subscripts, with the mathematical formulas, and especially when you get into some of the fractions. If you try to type these just in Word, it can be kind of awkward. So instead, we're going to take this this example right here. S sub n equals n times a sub 1 plus a sub 18 in parentheses all over the quantity 2. And we're going to try to write that into a Microsoft Word document. Now, I just have the reference to our textbook listed at the bottom. Again, I'm not in any APA format guide right now. I just have really a mostly blank Microsoft Word document. And I'm ready to I'll just switch back and forth to type this sequence notation into my Word document. If you go to the Insert menu under Microsoft Word, and all the way over at the right-hand side, you see an option which says Equation. This is your equation editor, and it pulls up a box, and you have all of these different tools open for you across the top. So one of the ones that you can use quite frequently for things like subscripts and for fractions is this first menu of fraction and the second one for subscript. So the first thing we wanted to write was S, capital S with a subscript of little n. So I'm going to write my capital, I'm going to go to this little subscript box and go to this one that has a box with a subscript box. Then I'll put the capital letter S in the big box and the little letter n in the small box. And then I'll press my equal sign. Now I want to have a big fraction with all this stuff in the top and then the number 2 in the bottom. So I'm going to click on the fraction button, and I'll select this little template which gives me a top and a bottom box to fill in. we can go ahead and just put the bottom in right away, which is the number 2, and now all we have to do is work on formatting the top, which was n times a big parentheses and then A1 plus A18. So I'll put the n, and then I'll use this bracket option where it has a parentheses with a box inside of it. This automatically resizes the parentheses as you need it, as you fill stuff inside of the box. So then we'll put in the first spot, we're going to put a subscript with an A and a little number sub 1, and then I'll get up from the box and I'll put in my plus, and then I'll use the subscript tool again to put in the little a and the little 18. And then when you're all done, let's just make sure that we have it right. A1 plus A18 n all over 2 s sub n. So this is the formula that I was copying over. You can click outside of that little box, hit enter, and go on to the next line. And repeat that process over and over again every time you want to insert and format an equation, and it looks a lot better than if you just try to write it out in normal text. So I hope this has been useful to you. As always, I look forward to talking to you and working with you. And if you ever want another one of these quick kind of how-to videos, just ask, and I'd be happy to film one for you. Hope you all have a great week.